Hello everyone, and welcome to Truth Fellowship Center. My name is Reverend Donna Williams, and I am this pastor and spiritual leader. I'm here to tell you just a little bit about our ministry. We are a trans-denominational and diverse spiritual community that is learning and practicing holistic spirituality. Can you tell that I'm excited about this ministry? What is holistic spirituality? That's a new term. Well, holistic spirituality is the practice of being whole in your body, in your soul, and in your spirit. When we think body, we don't only think good nutrition and exercise. Those things are wonderful. But when we say body, we think about our relationship to one another in all of life. We want to be whole there. We want to repair and heal those relationships that have often plagued us. In order to be spiritually healthy, we can't neglect our relationship to one another in all of life. The same holds true with the healing of our souls. We want to be whole there. What is our souls? Our minds and our emotions. Many of us have suffered through many childhood traumas, and we've just pushed those things farther and farther inside of us. And we want to be whole there, and that requires allowing those things to come up to the surface and letting them go. So we want to be healthy in our souls. We also want to be healthy in our spirits. That is our relationship to and with God. Many of us have grown up with a wrathful and a vengeful God, someone who's sitting up in a place called heaven, who has this pencil and this eraser, and all this God is doing is sitting there and waiting on us to mess up so he can write our names in this book of life and then erase them out when we're doing bad things. Well, we don't believe in a vengeful and a wrathful God. We believe in a God of love, of compassion, of beauty, and of wisdom, and all of us are accepted at all times. So we learn these truths about God, about our bodies, about our connections to one another, about our emotions, through the teaching of truth wherever truth is found. What do we mean by that? We mean that the Christian Bible is not our only authority, that we study other sacred literature, like the Dhammapada from the Buddhists, or the Bhagavad Gita from the Hindus. We also will take a look at some of our contemporary writers, like Wayne Dyer, Marianne Williamson, Eckhart Tolle, Greg Braden, and others. These men and women have spent time in the presence of God, and they have brought forth some beautiful inspired writings that help us to heal, to grow, and to be transformed. So we study all the truths. We're open to everything that the universe holds for us in order to be healthy and whole. We have a multitude of services to reach everyone. We know that there's no such thing as a cookie cutter service. And so we want to have different services, and we do. On the first Sundays of the month, we have what we call Coffee and Conversation. What is that? Coffee and Conversation is our fellowship time. It's the time where we celebrate birthdays, we come together, and we bring our coffee and maybe something to share, edible to share, and we sit in a circle and discuss one of life's big questions. Questions such as, what is God? What is consciousness? What do we mean by salvation? Is there a real place called hell? Is there this evil being called the devil? And so we tackle these questions, and we do it in an open environment, an accepting environment, but most of all in a loving and a non-judgmental environment. On the second Sundays of the month, we have the traditional Bible teaching or preaching, but we add a metaphysical flair to it. So it's our metaphysical Bible teaching Sunday. This is when I sit down with the Christian Bible that most of us are familiar with. And we talk through the stories, and we have discovered that the Bible is nothing more than man's or humanity's quest toward full consciousness. So we talk through those stories that are mostly allegorical, and we come to deeper meanings to help us grow and evolve into full consciousness. On the third Sundays of the month, we have A Course in Miracles. And the Course in Miracles is a mind study. It is designed to help us overcome the effects of the ego. What is the ego? Our false self. It's the story that we tell ourselves. It's when we look in the mirror and say, I'm black, or I'm white, or I'm fat, or I'm tall, or I have a great job, or I'm this, or I'm that. Those are only false senses of who we are. Who we really are is eternal. We are the I Am presence made manifest in the earth. We are what God is. We are spiritual beings having this human experience. And we're going to learn this more and more as we study A Course in Miracles. On the last Sunday of the month, we have Tell Your Story Sunday. This is when someone from our congregation who knows in advance, we don't spring it on them, but they know in advance that it's their Sunday to share their story. Not from compulsion, but they volunteer to share their story. Oftentimes, these stories are stories of trial and triumph, of tragedy and trauma to victory. And in sharing their stories, not only are they becoming more vulnerable to the congregation, but the congregation is giving themselves permission to feel their own stories and to release those pains that have plagued them since childhood. We use all of these different methods to reach people, to teach people, to help and to heal all those broken souls that come to us. We also have a midweek service. Our midweek service is currently a book discussion, and our current book is Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth. If you've read it, you might have seen him on the Oprah Winfrey Show or caught one of his YouTube presentations. But Eckhart Tolle is a man who has achieved enlightenment, and he talks a lot about the ego and something he calls the pain body, which is unhealed emotional pain. And so we're using every single one of our services to bring us to health and wholeness and ultimately transformation and full consciousness. But before you think that we're all serious business and no fun, we do have fun. Once a month, we have either an activity that we do outside of our center, or we have what we call conscious movie night. And we view one of the movies here that help us to move forward in consciousness. On January 24th, you're invited to come with us to glow-in-the-dark miniature golf. I can't wait. I've never did this activity, and I'm going to have a ball just going in and fellowshipping with everyone and participating in putt-putt. You're welcome and invited to come to any one of our services. Again, we are trans-denominational, meaning we span all the denominations. We don't adhere to one or the other. We're about truth and the study of truth. You're welcome to come, to be yourself, to dress the way you want to. We don't care what socioeconomic group you adhere to, how you identify racially, culturally, socially, sexually. It doesn't matter. All are welcome in our services. And we invite you to come. Sundays, 10 o'clock meditation. Sundays, 10:30 service. And Wednesdays is the book discussion at 6:30. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I look forward to meeting each and every one of you. Goodbye.